Giants are playing on house money, and as we record this, they've probably already been eliminated, but congratulations.
I don't care. We're still playing with house money. Win or lose, I am loving life right about now. Beating a team we know we had a chance to beat, and Duffy and I are geniuses.
They are fun to watch. Why are you a genius?
Well, I mean, just because of all the things that fall out of my mouth. I have been saying all season that the Vikings were frauds, all season long, and being yelled at for it. And what do you know? The frauds show up opening playoff round.
Still a 3, E.J. Manuel?
DeMar Hamlin, first of all. Second of all, yeah, we're winning, man. We're rolling. This jersey ain't coming off until the Bills win the Super Bowl. So...
Very good.
Oh, wait. You're not upset. You say it. I say it, you get upset. You say it, and it's almost like a fact.
Because I'm a genius, I can say these things. Follow along.
Let's talk accountability.
Okay.
We have situations developed in that first week of the playoffs that, deserve to be addressed. I thought it was really fascinating. Take your pick. You got Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. You got what happened to the Chargers. Well, that's a good place to start. One of those two. Or in Brett Maher, the other one, the kicker. So the Dallas Cowboys. What do you like?
Let's go with Brett Maher first. First of all, what's interesting about this thing is he became the story. That game was totally dominated by the Dallas Cowboys, and now you're going into this week's game wondering whether or not the game will be on the line. This is poetic sports justice here. Game on the line, 25, 30-yard line. You're putting your kicker out there to make that field goal. The entire football world will watch it to see if he can come back and go from being the GOAT to the hero.
It's so bizarre.
I mean, it was, but look, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm glad you got out of the way now. I mean, what are the odds that he goes out and does that again, a professional NFL kicker? If McCarthy's smart, he doesn't even let it factor into his brain. Just go play ball the way you would having him hit every field goal.
The thing is, my initial reaction was that it's irresponsible for Dallas not to consider other options, giving everything that's at stake. And then I look at Maher's record for the season. This guy was one of the best long-distance kicker in the league.
You got it. And the thing is, I like the fact that McCarthy kept sending him out there. Let him kick himself out of it, right? It's like Bird. You're going to be cold until you're not cold anymore.
Well, this is going to be interesting because McCarthy was the question going into this game. So was Dak Prescott. They performed extremely well, and the guy who's been consistent all year, you have question marks going into this game. So that's going to be interesting.
What do you make of the Chargers?
I'm surprised the head coach still has his job. I don't understand it, and I get it. This goes to last week where we were talking about, you know what, get the head coach out, get the GM out, let's change the quarterback, let's change everything. This is the direct opposite. You almost had Justin Herbert come out and say, listen, I love this I love this coach. Let's keep him there, make it happen. But they had every reason to get rid of him, and they put it on the offensive coordinator, they put it on the quarterback's coach, and the head coach still keeps his job.
I mean, yeah, look, you had back-to-back seasons where Brandon Staley is directly responsible for your season ending, and you throw your offensive coordinator under the bus. I
wonder if they made him do the interview. I was curious, does Staley have to address these two and say, hey, look, I'm sorry, but we're throwing
it's either you or me? Is that basically it?
But that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Look, if you look at examples throughout history, there are guys who we think are giant clowns, Rex Ryan, for example, right? That guy at least had integrity, right? He, wanting to start Tyrod Taylor in that final game a couple of years ago, cost him his job because he told Tyrod Taylor, you are my starting quarterback. Then you look at a guy like Staley who, just to hold on to his job, look, man, you were up 27-0 at half. Sure, you scored 3 points in the second half, but let's talk about the 30-something points you gave up on the back end. That's not the offensive coordinator's fault.
Yeah.
Is it?
And the Mike Williams injury the week before, you could have used him.
And you kept him in the, yes, 100%. All of it falls on Staley. And the fact that, one, they let him keep his job, and allowed him to keep his job, throwing another coaching staff member under the bus is insane.
And it seems to me the team has been, the past couple of years, looking for a reason to justify getting rid of him. They had it, and they've decided not to use it.
The Chargers should be so much better. The Chargers and the Ravens are two teams to me that do not make sense. Yeah. I mean, I understand the injuries with Baltimore, but the Chargers, Herbert can play ball.
And they got 1 year left on his rookie contract.
And you have a star-studded defense, legitimately. You have weapons for him. And you, in 2 years, when you were ready to turn the corner, have made a playoff game with no wins.
And it's interesting, I'll say this for unfinished business, but the Lamar Jackson thing, what a difference a year makes. I mean, here we are a year later, and you might have just circled the fact that you've devalued yourself more than value yourself in Baltimore. And to our point last week, you might have Baltimore looking about really revamping this entire offense. There's a chemistry issue here that involves Lamar Jackson. Great talent, but a change of scenery might be just as good for them as it is for Baltimore.
Got a bit unfinished business?
I've got it on that in the year of Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and a number of other things that we